What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tirafon Orbital. So today's demo video is going to be a quick one to go over an install commission that I completed for a customer on a Halo themed hilt. This is the Mark IV from Phoenix Props and Temple Forge Props. This is an awesome looking hilt. It looks directly out of the Halo universe. It is industrial. It is very cool looking. I do want to talk a little bit about the chassis, the updated chassis that I designed for this one, and then we will come up top, do a quick demo, do the whole thing, and then we will be on our way. Okay, so with all of that out of the way, let's come into Fusion. All right, so here is the full assembly, right? This is the chassis that I designed for the Phoenix Props, Temple Forge Props Mark IV. Let's start at the bottom, right? So the main body of this chassis does have a board cover. All of these parts have been done in brass, okay? Polished brass, then I went and weathered them. 28mm speaker down below here. Here is our battery cover. I did have some UNSC embossing that I put on this battery cover just to make it look a little bit more in line with the theme of the hilt. Around back, I do have UNSC embossed on the chassis itself. There are two brass greeblies on the side of the chassis that have been weathered. This is a Proffie board build, so our Proffie board slides up underneath this lip, pulls forward into these forks. Kill switch below the Proffie board, all right? This ring lives in the pommel. This is to keep that speaker from bottoming out at the bottom of that pommel, okay? Making our way up, we've got some lenses, right? So they look yellow in Fusion. These are actually orange. So these were printed, not printed, these were cast in an acrylic resin, right? And then they are put in front of two NeoPixels. I did this just to give it like a futuristic, cassette futurism, status light look. I don't really know if that came across, but they're lit from underneath anyhow, right? Making our way up, here is the crystal chamber. Now, this is an updated crystal chamber. It's not really a crystal chamber because it's more of like a plasma chamber, okay? So my original design for this, there just was not enough room for the motor. I drastically overestimated or underestimated how much room I would have, right? So this chamber has been shortened to allow for room for an actual motor. So the motor is down below, and then I have this plasma gate up top. Let me see if I can pull this down. This plasma gate essentially sits over that motor, right? Now, inside of this plasma gate, for this build in particular, I also have a clear resin insert that goes in here that will allow for a little bit of shine through, right? So there's a NeoPixel up top here that will shine down into this chamber, and I wanted to give it a little bit of extra like light dissipation and diffusion. So that is what that cap is for. Essentially, that goes down into this plasma chamber, okay? These fins up top, I modeled after an old rotary airplane engine cowling fins, right? I kind of wanted them to look a little bit like that. That was a little tricky to do. All of my wires come up through these conduits on each side of the chamber itself, right? So all of my leads come up through that. They kink right here and come up top. This upper section is a nylon cap that houses my 6-rail PCB, okay? This upper stem is the male end of that PCB, right? So that's where I put the male end of the PCB. We've got two tactile switches that make a connection to the outer switches on the outside of the hilt. And this entire thing lives on the inside of the hilt. It is held in place with a set screw, okay? And that is what makes the entire chassis removable, okay? But that is it. That is the chassis for the Phoenix Props, Temple Forge Props, Mark IV. Let's take a look. All right, so here it is. This is the Mark IV from Temple Forge Props and Phoenix Props. Really cool industrial looking hilt, right? This does look straight out of the Halo universe. I love the look of all these panels and plates. They are modeled after Master Chief's armor. It just looks really cool, okay? We are going to take a look at the chassis. Obviously, this is a little bit loose, this plate up here. Let me go ahead and tighten that. There we go. But yeah, great hilt. Everything's modular, right? So if you want to go back and weather this, or if you have one and you want to weather it, all of these plates will come off for easy weathering. Everything is modular, right? So this piece will come off. It's just a very, very well designed hilt, okay? Let's talk a little bit about this chassis. Go ahead and unthread my pommel. Here is the chassis. Now it is a little bit of a tight fit, all right? Pull that chassis out. So here it is. All of the brass parts have been weathered, okay, with brass black. There are those two orange lenses that are in front of those single neopixels, okay. Proffie board is back here. I'll go ahead and put a battery in this guy. This will take a button top protected 18650 battery. Flat part of your battery will go down towards the speaker, okay. So this was already on. I have gone ahead and put an Energy Sword font on this, all right. There is that rotating plasma gate. Okay, so we've got a single neopixel up above that gives us some shine through, or some shine in the chamber itself, okay. As for the config, these two neopixels are their own blade in the config. This upper neopixel is its own blade in the config. And then obviously you've got your main blade, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this chassis in the hilt. Again, it's a tight fit, so push your chassis all of the way up until it stops. That ring is inside of this pommel. That just stays inside of the pommel. It lives in there. Put your chassis in, thread your pommel on until it stops, and you're good to go, okay? Okay. All right. So that's it. Let's come down to the bottom. There is a closer look at the Mark IV from Phoenix Props. Great sounding hilt. I do like the way that this grip feels, right? Can't talk this morning. Let's go ahead and put a blade in it. All right, so this will take a 1-inch blade. I'm going to put my blade in so it's resting on those PCB pins. There is a set screw in between these two perforated shrouds that will serve as your blade retention. So go ahead and tighten that, and you're ready to go. I think I put some audio.
Killing spree.
Audio tracks on this one.
Killjoy.
Okay.
Killing frenzy.
Let's see what else we've got on here.
I'll never join you.
So other than that Energy Sword font, this has just been set up with the stock Proffie board fonts that come on the SD card with this Proffie board, okay? So that's it. Just those two fonts, active fonts on this config, okay? Really great sounding hilt, great feeling hilt. I love this switch placement. Nice. Okay. All right. Whoops. Well, that is it. That's the Mark IV from Phoenix Props and Temple Forge Props. Really, really great hilt that looks like it's straight out of the Halo universe. This one was a lot of fun to do. To the customer, thank you very much for your patience. If anyone has any questions about this install or the chassis, please do not be a stranger. This chassis is available on my website for purchase if anyone is looking to get it. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, everyone. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Have a good one, everybody.